Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Baker and welcome to another game of Homeworld. Today we will have a 2v2 on a map that I don't know the name of and I've not seen before, but it is a very cool custom looking map. It's sort of one cube inside another. Probably can actually go up to 8 players if each player takes a corner, but at the moment we've only got 4, so hopefully it will be an interesting 2v2. It's also a surprisingly small map, actually, if you think about it. Everybody's pretty close together. Or at least they would be if they were all on the same plane. As we can see, on the top plane we have one player on either side, and the sort of opposite sides have the other 2 players. So, quite strange, and hopefully it will be an interesting dynamic. So, to introduce our players, I'm going to have to turn the strategic view thingy on, so I can get the names right. Down here we have EdmondFitzgerald. He's the green Kushan. Yep, got that right for once. And his ally is on the same side of the map, but just above and to the, I suppose you call it left-ish. We're in space though, so it's all weird. This is Nozem. He is the red Kushan. And today their opponents are from the clan OMO, and we have here Ironsides, and oh no, they're not both from the OMO. His ally is from a different clan, ISD. This is Fornax, who I think we've seen before, possibly in one of my very, very early games. I'm not entirely sure. But yes, and he's actually the only tied player on here. So it's not a huge thing, but it means that only one player can do defense field frigates, because the other players can do hive drone frigates, whatever they're called. I think it's just drone frigates, but I've seen one of them in one game, and that game lasted an hour and 30 minutes, so doubtful we'll see any today, but you never know. It is always possible. Yeah, so we just have to wait for things to kick off, really. As per usual, there's some resources at the starting location for each player, and there will be some sort of in the corners where there could have been another player spawn, but there hasn't been. So that's something to bear in mind, and the rest is going to be in the centre. We can already see this is EdmondFitzgerald mining the middle, trying to get here early, and they're just killing off a probe. So one thing also to note actually is all the players start off with 4 research ships. That means we should see some quite fast frigates out, and maybe some quick destroyers or some more advanced form of corvettes. Could be, might not be, but we'll have to wait and see. And his ally, which is nozem. Okay, I'm going to call Nozem and Fitzgerald the green team, even though on this map Nozem is yellow. He's the green team, even though he's red here. I'm going to stick him with the green team, because their opponents in this view are red, both of them are red, and in the strategic display they are both red as well. So hopefully we can keep that quite well. Well, keep them distinct and not switch all the names around and all the colours, because I mean there's 3 different colours we could identify Nozem as, so I'm just going to call him the green team. And we can see he's already here getting in some early harassment. Now he's only got scouts, so that's going to take him quite a few minutes to do any damage. And we can see that, who is it? This is Ironsides of OMO, is coming in with a handful of interceptors. It's not that many though. Interceptors, of course, better than scouts. And we can already see they've killed. Oh, that's actually quite impressive. So he seems to have enough interceptors to kill stationary scouts very quickly. The problem is scouts can now do kamikaze attacks, as we've just seen, and sort of start evening the fight up, actually. So it just isn't really. Well, there's only 4 interceptors left. It's not quite gonna be enough, I don't think. And there's always more available, of course, but And if one thing, then these scouts of nozem aren't going after the resourcing operation anymore. But these interceptors are kind of being thrown away. 4 more coming up behind them for support, and a big fight kicking off here. This is EdmondFitzgerald versus Fornax. That's a bad view. Lots of scouts. Do we have anything else? No, just scouts going after each other. Some kamikaze going in. Support frigates and harvesters moving up. More support frigates here. But this kind of looks like the Fornax. Fornax is coming off on top of this fight, I think. Just doing a quick sort of guesstimation counting. Although he has just lost 10 scouts in very quick succession, so that could go either way. Up here, Ironsides are sort of swooped in. I think these are interceptors. Oh no, of course they're scouts. Triangles are scouts. Oh no, triangles are all of them. Okay, never mind. Forget the shapes. But these are lots of scouts versus just a handful of interceptors, so they can start doing a bit of damage. And you can see they've almost killed this harvester here. Will there be enough of them to kill it with the support frigate in? Don't know, but we should probably just try to keep an eye on that, even though there's another... This fight down here is still going on, and it looks like EdmondFitzgerald's scouts definitely sort of lost, or have pulled back actually, though there's only 7 of them left, so it looks like Fornax is sort of winning the fight in the centre of the map, while nozem is definitely doing quite well here, and that's definitely a nice little kamikazing attack there. Took about 4 or 5 scouts, but it did it, it worked. Got the kill, and that's quite early in the game as well. So it's going to be annoying for Ironsides. Although it does kind of mean that the green team are a little low on strikecraft. More of them coming in from, well, more of them here from Fitzgerald, EdmondFitzgerald. So he's hanging in the fight, but not in the centre. In the centre, this is the part where Fornax can sort of get revenge for that lost, his allies lost. Resource harvester may be able to kill this. We can zoom in, maybe a bit too close, but we can definitely see this is almost certain to go down. Unless another support frigate arrives pretty soon. Although it's going to take a few more seconds to do, which is good. This is 5 assault frigates struggling to outdamage the repairability of 2 support frigates, but they do it in the end. Up here, you can see a lot being produced for nozem, including some, those are repair corvettes, which are quite useful, but I'm not 100% convinced about. And over here, we can see those last few strikecraft should be cleaned up fairly soon. There's lots of strikecraft out for Ironsides, including we have here, I believe these are defenders, in fact. Those are defenders, and we've got some corvettes coming out. These are heavy corvettes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Something's just hyper-spaced out. I believe that was a resource harvester, judging by its size. Oh no, I can select it. Oh, this support frigate has just hyper-spaced out of there. So, with all these out, all these frigates, this is sort of EdmondFitzgerald's attempting to regain control of the centre. Unfortunately, he's a little outnumbered, and his frigates are quite strung out. So, it's not going to be that effective. In fact, he's already lost 1. So his opponent sort of has his frigates kind of closer together, or at least he's got them, this group here and this group up here, and Ironsides it is still has the strikecraft, which aren't going to do a huge amount of damage, but is just a nice little advantage for them to have. So EdmondFitzgerald is starting to withdraw. He's got to link up with these reinforcements and then, well, turn around and fight back really, but he's just lost a second frigate. And I can't imagine this support frigate surviving for very long. So it's not looking great for Edmund Fitzgerald. His ally though has built up quite a significant force. He's got mine laying corvettes out as well, and salvage corvettes, which are going to be pretty useful, both of them, especially as everybody seems to be switching over to frigates. But there's still this huge sort of strike-craft force here. Salvage corvettes out as well. That looks like attack bombers right there, 4 attack bombers, interceptors and lots of defenders. So Ironsides and Fornax clearly have the advantage in the centre, in the production, or in the ships in reserve as it were. And we can just see actually Edmund Fitzgerald pretty desperate, retiring a resource controller just to try to get that burst of income and get some more ships out. But now is really the time when his ally needs to come in and start doing something. Although, what's his ally's name? Nozem has managed to steal a resource harvester, which is nice. And these mines, this is a bad neighbourhood for this harvester to be in. These mines are going to start doing a lot of damage, and I expect this in fact to die very quickly. It's already on fire, you can just about see, and there we go, it's down. So it's 2 harvesters down, 4 Fornax, which is going to even things up a bit. But this fight in the centre is still very much going Fornax's way. He's got the support frigates. Edmund Fitzgerald's ships are fairly scattered, sort of hitting at whatever they can. A couple of them trying to go for these frigates here. Sword frigate down here, here. Iron cannon frigate coming out now for Fornax as well. There is an iron cannon frigate out for Fitzgerald, but it's just died. So Fitzgerald definitely on the back foot here. And there's just this huge group, huge scary force by Ironsides, sitting and waiting to pounce. Now would be a perfect time to pounce, but he's not pouncing. There is a distinct lack of pouncing going on by the Allies, although it kind of looks like that Nozem is more likely to pounce. He's at least moving his ships back and forth, whereas Ironsides is just sitting here. He's got a lot of salvage corvettes, huge amount of defenders, a lot of attack bombers, and he's not really doing much. But meanwhile, Edmund Fitzgerald still in the fight, still producing frigates. Another iron cannon frigate out now. It seems to be ignoring this flotilla over on this side of his mothership, and just trying to do some damage to Fornax's mothership, in fact. Maybe he hopes he can ram it, or just do enough damage for his ally Nozem to come out and fix it. As well, finish it off, not fix it. But who knows? And it looks like now his ally is sort of starting now just to swing in with some corvettes. We can see they look like just light corvettes. Yep, but even in this number, light corvettes are still going to be pretty good against isolated frigates. Does he have any other ships moving down? No. So that probably isn't going to be enough to swing it into the favour of the green team. But you never know. It certainly seems to have pulled these frigates up and away from Edmund's mothership, and Edmund is building up a small but quite nice frigate force, and he does have a fair few strikecraft out, and more scouts being drawn in. So it's strikecraft versus this fairly scary frigate group here. But now that they've moved up, they're sort of moving into range of nozem's frigates here, and even maybe into range of these salvage corvettes, more strike craft, and mine laying corvettes as well. We can see this force here. It's kind of thought it might move forward, well, did move forward a little bit, and then just they appear to be on some form of holiday. Maybe these strike craft can go in. These are attack bombers. Yep, and we can just see them starting to work on a few scattered corvettes. So this could be it now for the green team. It's quite hard to see them sort of pulling it back now. These light corvettes aren't going to survive long against these strike craft, and there's this huge group of frigates from Fornax, a destroyer from Fornax, and it kind of looks like, unless nozem can pull something out the bag quickly, it's going to be all over for them. There's still also this huge force here, which really should now definitely is the time to send them in. I mean, these mines are going to be quite nice actually. Going to be doing a fair bit of damage to the enemy mothership, and there's iron cannon frigates down here, or at least this one is doing more damage to the mothership, but is it going to be enough? It's hard to see it being enough. Lots of kamikazing from various strike craft. That sort of helped quite a bit. In fact, that's helped a lot. Was that the huge group of? That was the huge group of strike craft that you know, all the attack bombers and interceptors that Ironsides sent in. So they were clearly kept in too close a formation, and were just taken out by kamikazing scouts. So it's kind of helped brought it back, and Fornax's mothership is on fire. It's being focused down by pretty much, well, by quite a lot. Well, a couple of iron cannon frigates in fact, and well, here's Ironsides attempting to save his ally, but is he going to be too little too late? It looks like it could be. Let's switch back to this view. I mean, there's a destroyer out for Fornax, but he hasn't been able to keep his mothership alive. There's two repair frigates here. They've just started to kick in. So, but I mean, get these defenders in, man. Just get the assault frigate, get the support salvage corvettes in. You need. If Fornax dies, that's going to take out a lot of frigates and this destroyer, and the explosion might even kill off most of these corvettes. These corvettes are pretty deadly. You can't. I don't think there's enough strike craft to just kamikaze into them again. And there's some frigates. Actually, it does look like some of these strike craft are going to kamikaze into them, but I don't think they did. They did a huge amount of damage there. But there's still lots more strike craft where they came from. We can even see salvage corvettes attempting to move in. But it's going to be hard to see this mothership lasting for that much longer. I don't know what's happened with the red team. It looked like they should have just swept the board. In fact, the mothership did just die from a couple of kamikazes. If you go back and look at the top here, two kamikaze scouts, I think, or maybe the two salvage corvettes have just kamikazed into the mothership, and that's going to be a huge blow for the red team. I mean, it's not fatal. The red team still has, well, it's now, what's his name, Ironsides. They still have this huge corvette force, salvage corvettes here, frigates here, but they've just lost the destroyer and all these frigates. Now, if anybody has any salvage corvettes out now, these capital ships will stay around for a while. We can see one of nozem's salvage corvettes trying to get this destroyer, but they don't have enough. So it would be really useful if any player had a group of salvage corvettes that are sitting around not doing anything. They could just fly in and win the game. But Ironsides once again just kind of forgetting he has all these ships out. But he still has, as I said, quite a nice force here. And every side basically took a lot of casualties when the mothership exploded. We can see this. EdmondFitzgerald's mothership is actually fairly damaged. There's a destroyer out for him, which looks like it's almost going to die fairly soon. But there we go. I should have pointed out that destroyer was out a few minutes ago. It spent a lot of time not being able to... Oh, this is bad. You can see those mines trying to come down here and actually impacting on the mothership. If you want to know why, it's because the mothership, the Crucian mothership's sort of collision model is significantly larger than the model that you can actually see. So it's just taken maybe a fifth to a quarter of its health in damage from Nozem's mines, and it's still taking more. And in fact he's lost. EdmondFitzgerald doesn't have any combat ships left. There's very few resources on the map. There's some over here that everybody's just racing to, and I think there's a handful up here, and some mine layer, and maybe some just got hoovered up here. But at this point it's going to start getting very tight for all players involved. So that's why getting these capital ships that were left over from Fornax, was it? They were going to be really important, but they have a sort of a countdown, and they will eventually die, as they have been. Anyway, yes, another destroyer out, this time for nozem. As I said, there was a destroyer out earlier for EdmondFitzgerald. It was kind of trying to focus down the mothership, but it was in a bad position for most of the time. And did that just kamikaze into something? It might have done. And it's definitely trying again. It didn't really need to. This destroyer, it's doing well. It's not doing great against these corvettes. You see heavy corvettes mixed in as well. And so this destroyer, I can't see how damaged. I can't see the health bar on it, unfortunately. But I'm guessing these support frigates are keeping it alive very well, hugely. But you never know, it could die pretty quickly. In fact, it just has died. Okay, I've got to, I should focus more on things I'm watching. Missile destroyer out now, and that's going to help against these corvettes, but it's a lot of corvettes. And unless these support frigates get to the missile destroyer soon, I'd actually put my money... Well, it's going to be 50-50, I think. Edmund is just repairing desperately. There's still this huge group of defenders here that really should do something, and the salvage corvettes, but instead Ironsides is sitting back and being confident here that his corvettes can actually do the job. And they're taking heavy casualties though, but now these are here, these support frigates are here. I think definitely the missile destroyer is going to do it pretty easily. Iron cannon frigates just coming up to support them. You can see the missile destroyer has taken a bit of damage. You can see its engine is on fire down here. So without these support frigates, actually I think the missile destroyer would have won. But the missile destroyer would be pretty heavily damaged. Either way, these corvettes should have run really at the first sight of this missile destroyer. And now everything's, once that fight is sort of ended, everything's going to quiet down, I think, for a minute or two. Handful of mine laying corvettes out. Support frigates still trying to heal the mothership. 2 resource collectors out here. The harvesting is pretty much over here. So, nice patch of juicy harvesters and resource controllers. Whoever decides to move towards them. I mean, these could swing over possibly. Although I think these harvesters are now too close to the mothership, and of course these strike craft could. Well, they could do something, anything, and Well, it's a shame to see them not. So what I expect to do is then, if there's any sort of few pebbles of resources left on anybody's side, I expect the resource collectors to pick them up, and then I expect people to retire their resource controllers, and then the resource collectors after them, and just build whatever they can again, and sort of go in for one last fight. Now, the green team is in the lead, but EdmondFitzgerald here has barely any income. I think he's retiring the last of his harvesters now. I think he can retire this, but I'm not sure. And he's only got 6 scouts. Okay, you can never underestimate the effect that support frigates are going to have on the game, but at the moment they're still healing the mothership. His ally, Nozem. Nozem is in a lot better shape. He's still got some harvesters flying around, and he can retire all these. He's still got his captured harvester actually here, the one he captured about 10 minutes ago, so that's some extra money he can grab. Although it looks like finally Ironsides is sending some ships out, some salvage corvettes, and they look like they're going to attempt to recapture the harvester that was stolen from him. So keep an eye on that. Yes, so definitely this is currently the green team's, and specifically Nozem's, game to lose. There's 2 destroyers out. I think it's 2, maybe 3 support frigates and 2 iron cannon frigates. So that's a 3rd iron cannon frigate coming in here, and there we go. This is revenge for earlier, and at this stage of the game, being able to retire that and just get a few more resource units is going to be pretty useful. And now finally these defenders have remembered that they're in the middle of a battle. They're not on holiday, they're not there to look at the pretty view, they're there to get in the fight, and they're going right for these harvesters, which, yes, I think they can manage to get to these harvesters. Defenders have quite a significant range, but it looks like they've gone slightly too close to some of these mine layers, and defenders are fairly slow. So, but they do actually manage to escape most of the mines and dodge that probe, as it were. But we can see this is sort of the green team, specifically Nozem's attempt to end this, and a huge number of mines now are going to come in, and well, that's what Ironside is relying on. The only problem with mines is you can't really choose which ship they go for. You just got to hope for the best, and well, they did quite well. They severely damaged this mothership, but I kind of feel like, not this mothership, this destroyer, but if they could be force targeted, which I think there is a kind of a way to do it from your mine layer. You can order your mine layer to force attack, but if all the mines had gone onto one ship, this destroyer would be gone. And right now, though, these salvage corvettes are attempting to steal these ships, but it's just there's no point when there's other iron cannon frigates, and when there's the missile destroyer. The missile destroyer saved itself and is now saving this iron cannon frigate down here. This destroyer has only got 1 salvage corvette on, so it's not going to be taken anytime soon. There's technically enough salvage corvettes around if they detach from this iron cannon frigate to steal the destroyer, but for how long? One good thing is, though, is that these defenders up here are getting 3 shots off on this missile destroyer, but I think it's just basically being quite well healed up by 4 support frigates. And the destroyer now out, 4 Ironsides. With how much damage this destroyer has taken and whatnot, I don't think it's quite enough to even it out, but it's definitely looking better for Ironsides here. these defenders could, and well, these defenders and the destroyer could quite possibly take out this destroyer quite easily. We can see right now EdmondFitzgerald attempting to do a kamikaze attack with his almost dead research ship, and they could actually get the support frigate, possibly. Meanwhile, the destroyers going head to head, and there we go. So he did what damage he could. But now, I mean, you can see how badly these destroyers, both of them, are damaged. Although Ironsides should really get this support frigate into healing, and this support frigate into healing this destroyer. That would certainly help him. How many defenders does he have? He does have a few defenders left, and we see some mine laying corvettes scattered around. And at the moment, the resourcing operations for all players has stopped, and they're just retiring their ships. Salvage corvettes attempting to move in once more. Can they get anything stolen? This is now a good time to do it, actually, because everybody's sort of paying attention to other things. The destroyer, yes, one destroyer is down. It kind of looks like this missile frigate is going to get taken as well, and it's going to be difficult to see, it's difficult to tell who's going to win. Technically this destroyer has more firepower and I think more hit points, but there's all these mines, so this is not a good place for this destroyer to retreat to. See 4 or 5 mines coming in. That might be enough to take this destroyer out. Not quite. Close, but no cigar. This iron cannon frigate, did it somehow escape? It looks like it somehow managed to get free of the salvage corvettes. So, I mean, if we look at that, that was quite a good defense on Edmund Ironsides' half, considering that those 2 destroyers going after him and he only had a handful of defenders and salvage corvettes out at the start of that. It's not over yet, there's still some iron cannon frigates sort of in the battle zone, but I think EdmondFitzgerald has held. The problem is he had to throw away a lot of ships into that fight, and he has nothing left. He has nothing else he can retire. He has no harvesters left, while his opponents have all these resource controllers they can retire. I mean, that's a lot of RU there. Second destroyer out as well. So now this frigate's still fighting on heroically. So is this mine laying corvette. And now I don't think Edmund Ironsides is going to be able to hold off. There's a destroyer out for EdmondFitzgerald. So it's going to be 3 destroyers versus 1. But, I mean, well done to EdmondFitzgerald. He held off that attack. If it had just been that more proactive in the first 2/3 of the game, he might have done. The entire game would have been completely different, and I suspect they would have won. But for whatever reason, I don't know if he was distracted, if it was some part of a plan, if he was trying to get heavy cruisers out, I don't know, but for whatever reason, he didn't really get into it until his ally had died. Maybe it was part of an arrangement. His ally was like, oh, I'm so good I can take these on, both of them at the same time, or maybe he had lag. We don't know, and we never will. But unfortunately for them, that means that the green team will win. So congratulations to EdmondFitzgerald and nozem, and commiserations to Fornax of the clan, was it ISD? I can't remember. Well, commiserations to Fornax, and commiserations to Ironsides of the clan OMO. I hope you have enjoyed watching this. If you have, please check out some of my other videos. It's just basically Homeworld stuff and some Total War stuff. I will hopefully be back either tomorrow or the day after with more videos. This could take a few minutes actually, so I don't know whether just to end it or just to talk about various things. Because, well, on the other hand, who doesn't like watching? Oh, I can do this view and hopefully shout over the sounds of the Ironsides. This is my absolute favourite tiny little feature in Homeworld, and I so hope the remakes have this in. This is a pilot view. You can just look it up on the internet of how to do it. And somebody, in fact, a long time ago, allegedly turned this into a mod that allowed you to fly the craft. It's somewhere buried deep in the Reddit forums, although they've all kind of shifted, so I don't know if you can get it anymore. But yes. Although actually, if Reddit added the ability just to fire the craft, that would be so good. I should email them about it. Everybody should email Reddit saying, just put a tiny little thing, just put in, joystick support. That you can fly the craft around and you can shoot with just one button. And it would just be so fun. So yes, write to Reddit, get it in, and I will be so incredibly happy if that was added. As you can see, the mothership just... this is the pilot view of the mothership. This isn't as exciting. So, it'll explode and then I'll end the video. And then I have to record the Battle of Gundabad for the 7th time this week. My computer is not great at the moment, so yes. Thank you for watching, etc. You know the standard spiel. Hopefully, actually I'm not sure if I should talk about the E3, the Pact 3 thing. I'll save that for my next video, because this is going to end very soon. You can see where the collision model ends. Yeah, this is why all these impacts are further away. So, hopefully that will be fixed. There we go. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.